There's a Snickers.
Yeah, I like the Snickers. Yeah.
Flounder gets the Snickers and a Butterfinger.
I know I can hear you. You're that far away from the microphone.
There we go. And this, I got to go over here with this.
And we're starting here. That's a hell of a start.
And now we're.
What you drinking
hell of
there?
a start.
A Mai Tai?
Are we?
What you got there?
If I'd have known, are we ripping and rolling on YouTube and Rumble? I'm guessing live video and everything. Hurt, hope, and hurt. Hello.
Yes,
It's only me.
there we are.
It's only me. It's only the Kimmer on the Kimmer Show podcast, and we say that with great reference because with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder El Condo Flando, I drink to you.
Mai Tai.
Because. Okay, as we speak.
Anything new? Anything breaking?
As we speak, this is Monday, the 15th of May. And this morning, it was announced that the Kimmer Show is going back on the radio.
No.
Pete Davis and Flounder.
Where?
Yep, at 106.3. We're going to our station we've been linked with for a couple of years now. And we're going to do the 3 to 6 afternoon drive time show, just like we used to do for years and years. And so we're going back on the radio, 106.3. And by the way, okay, this did I mention Pete Davis, sidekick producer?
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay, everything's happening so fast. And again, okay, first of all, this is going to be temporarily our last podcast for a while. Because and again and say, well, we just sent you $10. I know. I'm sorry. I
we didn't know if it was official.
Denise just sent us another very nice.
Denise, stop it.
Sponsoring this whole beginning segment of every podcast. Denise, God bless you, sweet girl. And Tom, he said for the entertainment, sent us a very nice donation on Venmo as well, and the mail in the post office box. So I feel a little guilty that if you've and again we've had hundreds of thousands of listeners, but only a few hundred subscribers. So to you, those who would send us some money.
I don't feel too bad.
No, we are very grateful. And again, I apologize if we're kind of cutting short for a second. But the fact is, this is all still happening right now today.
Very fast.
In fact, I just signed my contract this morning, and it's going into the radio station with Flounder tomorrow.
Am I supposed
so
to do
this
it
is
too?
all. Well, we have time. I mean, you don't have to do it, but before
Not do it today?
we go on. No. I just had mine already, and I've got to talk to to Laura, the business girl.
So there's still a chance to change my mind.
No, yeah, it's possible. But anyway, don't feel. It's not like we were tricking you. We didn't know about it. It's happening today. It was announced today. I signed today. So this is all brand new. So here's what this means. Starting June 5th, we'll be on the afternoons 3 to 6 on 106.3. We all know it's extra, XTRA. We all know the signal is terrible, so you can get the free app. It's 106.3 app, I guess, or whatever. It's a free app. Put it on your phone or whatever, and you can listen to us. We'll do 3 to 6 live in the afternoon drive time, and then they're going to repeat it 3 to 6 in the morning. So you could play it back. And Flounder, if I'm not mistaken, if they go to thekimmershow.net, starting when we go back on the air, they'll be able to get the show. Is that correct? Well, are they going to put the 3-hour show on thekimmershow.net, or is that not true?
No, so what we'll have is it's just a replay. A replay will come up on the Omni site like we do the podcast. So every day they can go back and listen to the show.
Okay, so in other words, if people are working and they can't listen on the radio,
they can go back and listen to it, yes.
They can listen to it by doing what? By going where?
They just you can go to thekimmershow.net, which will have a link like it does to our podcast, and they can re-listen to it.
So they can find a contact link and all.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. So it'd be simple if they want to hear
Very
the whole
simple,
show.
yes.
Now we're talking about the possibility, maybe for people who aren't going to be able to listen live 3 to 6, and maybe don't want to have time to listen to a whole 3-hour show. Maybe we can go ahead like we were doing on Saturday. And have Flounder put together like a highlights for an hour or something and put that on the original podcast site like we're doing right now, so that you can have kind of the highlights anytime you want on thekimmershow.net for just an hour instead of the whole 3. I don't. Again, this is all happening right now, so we haven't talked about it. We haven't made a decision. We haven't finalized anything. We're doing it right now as we speak. And so we'll figure out.
So your agent is dealing with this behind the scenes.
We all got agents, right? I guess agents are gone. I wonder if there's even
everybody
any
else has one except us.
Well, But I remember when we got blown out of there a few years ago, the radio network got sold, and then the China virus. Remember Shannon Burke said, he said he fired his agent. Nobody had an agent because there was no need for it, no jobs, nobody was hiring, nobody was doing nothing. And I wonder now whether there are still there used to be all over the place. I mean, I've had agents for 50 years. Until recently, 10 years ago, but not anymore. But anyway, just curious. So this is all happening as we speak. Okay, before we got a lot going on today. So again, for a while, this will be our last podcast for a while. And then we'll see what happens. We just don't know I don't know what to tell you. Do you know? I mean, we don't know what to do.
No.
We're still figuring it all out. So again, thank you for the comments. In fact, I mentioned this morning, I actually heard from my high school girlfriend. Well, she's going to graduate in 2 weeks, so she'll be my college girlfriend. So anyway, but I hope her parents don't find out. Yeah, ta-da! Thank you.
Can we do a little business here?
Yeah, please.
I am an idiot.
All right.
2 months ago, Rick Moore of Atlanta Custom Closets wrote me and said, "Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
The website's changed. It's no longer closetpro.net.
Oh, God.
Well, I just saw the email over the weekend. So let's just say
Okie doke.
it's AtlantaCustomClosets.net. Remember that.
Okay. Well, we've been saying Atlanta Custom Closets. Just add the .net.
No one
Atlanta
knew
Custom
that.
Closets.
Well, here's the phone number, which I believe is still the same. 404-255-0589. And, of course, yesterday was Mother's Day, right?
Yes, it was.
So what's next? What's coming up? Now, Father's Day. Father's like
June.
closets.
Father's Day in June. Yeah.
That's right.
U.S.
So,
Open is played during Father's Day weekend.
Atlanta Custom Closet. Is that where you watch the
Excuse me?
Is that where you watch the TV?
Well, when
in your
I
closet?
used to play, they always. I told my wife I can't be. I got to play the golf tournament.
Nothing
U.S.
to do with
Open.
closets, but okay, I like the segue.
Yeah.
All right, so it's AtlantaCustomClosets.net.
Well, there you are.
That's where
Atlanta Custom Closets.
And here, the very last podcast, I get it
Let
right.
that be a lesson to you. And by the way, also we got a very nice package of stuff here from Dan Rich. Dan, for one thing, sent us. That's from Brent. I'll get to Brent in a second. Dan, look at this. He sent me a gift card and a note telling me to fatten myself up. He sent me somebody to go buy food so I can fatten myself up. And he says, "Where's my glass stick? Here we go." And he said a couple of notes. He said, "Forgot to put this in with the contribution. It has a QR code to scan for business. It has the Hershey's. Oh, it's Hershey's ice cream. There's a gift code for Hershey's ice cream.
I know where you can get some. I saw some over the weekend. I saw a store that has them.
That's for you. Also,
it says only in McKaysville. By the way, I drove through McKaysville yesterday. It's very nice.
Really?
It's right on the Tennessee line.
I think I drove through.
In fact, I went to
McKaysville
Tennessee
once going to
yesterday.
Really?
It's only a few miles away from
Well,
me.
we'll talk about that in a second. This is for you. It's a gift card for you, Pete, from Dan.
Gosh, I know
and
exactly.
And also,
where.
Flounder, here's one for you. And for you call it Flounder or Brent if you want. This is your gift card for Flounder, right?
Chick-fil-A.
There you are on the table. Also, he sent us North Georgia's biggest family attraction, the museum. Which is the Expedition
Bigfoot Museum?
Bigfoot.
It is
Sasquatch Museum, and I'll give that to you.
Is it
that's a flyer on the big Sasquatch. Big
that
thing,
place
thing.
looks fantastic.
And he wrote a little letter who said, "This is my yearly contribution. It's a very nice donation. Many cheeseburgers. A yearly donation to the show. A couple months behind, but so go life. The added gift cards are for each of y'all, plus the horses." And the new edition of Lucas, the podcast. He added 5 guys as to fatten up the Kimmer should be enough and need some more cheeseburgers, fries, and a shake. Cheeseburger. Yes, a nice fattening shake. Wondering if another town hall could happen soon. Happy to be hearing more from Flounder and the podcast and 106.3 from Dan in Epworth. Not Ackworth, but Epworth.
Don't know
Georgia. Just remembered, Kimmer, next time you buy tires, get the Road Hazard. Yeah, no kidding. So thank you, Dan. That was very spectacular. Also, a very nice note and some stuff from our buddy Brent. from Allied Food Service. Remember, he says, come and see him if we ever go to the minor league ballpark again. Called the Groundhog Magazine, neighborly news from the heart of Lookout Mountain. So we'll leave that here.
The groundhog.
If they want to the Cowabunga there. Let's see. So, yeah, we're going back to work, and our podcast is we're kind of up in the air with it right now, and the crowd goes wild. Okay, so we'll do a couple of things. Okay, now, as you know, since we came back on and we've been asking you for money, I don't spend money on myself for anything other than like basic necessities because I would feel too guilty, spending money that I don't have and we're asking you to contribute. But when I do play I used to play the lottery a lot when I was working, and not a lot, but frequently. But now I don't play the lottery unless like Fantasy 5 has better odds because there's no magic number. There's only the 5 numbers, so your odds of winning are a lot better. When the Fantasy 5 gets up to like $500,000, I'm playing $10. I mean, so sue me. I don't feel bad playing $10 on a chance to win $500,000 on
For
better
educating
odds.
the children.
We're helping the little children. Now, let me ask you this. The other day, this weekend, I go in.
Yeah.
I say I won $10. $10 on Fantasy 5. He says, okay, one draw. And I said, well, same, he said, 10 plays, you want one draw? And I said, yeah, one sheet. And he said, okay. So he click. It takes $10, hands me back a piece of paper with one line of numbers. Not 10 10 things, one line. And what he told me was when you pick, if you say draw, do you want 10 draws or 10 picks? 10 draws means you get the same number 10 times. So he handed me back a piece of paper, Fantasy 5, with one line of numbers, and I bid it 10 times. And I said, what? I said, where's my other 9 numbers? He said, oh, well, no, they're all 10. You wanted all 10. I said, no, I didn't want all 10 picks on the same. I said, who the hell would do that? Your odds of winning now are like $1 billion to 1.
But if you win.
Well, yeah, but what are the odds? Now you're 700 million again 10 times.
You've cornered the market on those numbers.
I couldn't believe it. And I said, wait a minite. And he said, well, you said you wanted. I said, no, I don't know what the difference. I've never heard that before. Have you ever heard of that before?
I have no idea how it works. No.
So I'm just be
In fact,
warned.
I'm doing it right now on the phone. Why I don't have to do things
Oh
like that.
my God! Well, I don't know. Somebody probably won, but
No middleman.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I
And so I'm
decide.
going to go in and I say, I want a piece of paper. I'm going to give you $10, and in return, I want a piece of paper with 10 rows of numbers. And so you figured I knew, and he was kind of snotty about it. Well, you said draw, and so I didn't explain what the hell that is.
While you've been explaining this,
Yeah.
I just ordered my lottery ticket.
Well, there you are. Again, I do everything wrong. I can't.
By the way, some people said, they're going to miss the podcast. And Cindy goes, how can we pick on camera with no chat anymore?
Call us.
And Rocco says, call. And
Call
Cindy
the
goes,
show.
She
Well,
goes,
not only-
I'm too shy.
In fact,
Well,
now,
not only that, when we start to go back on the radio, we are still going to have the YouTube and Rumble page going like we do here. So people
on
will
camera,
still,
you mean?
yes. So people
in
will,
the studio or
yes.
whatever. The other thing is we're trying to figure out, because Pete lives 750 miles away now, that he may be doing a lot of remote broadcasts, and I may do some from my house as well. Now, will that still be able to have a camera on if we want for them to see us?
We'll have to figure something out. But I mean, worst case
Well, that'll be
scenario
hard to
is
do.
if you two are both working from home, you may not be able to see each other.
That's
But again,
true.
I don't know. These are more
We'll
questions.
try and work it out where that doesn't
Well,
happen.
I may just
Because
fight coming into work.
No,
Well, I'll be down at least twice a week.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
If you two are both working from home, you actually can. You just Skype each other or Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah,
Remember how we used to do that when COVID shut down and we had to do so you could do it that way to where you guys would see each other. The only thing is anytime we go back on air, you have to turn your volume down because you're going to get reverb.
Yeah, that's true.
But
thing
yeah, you
is,
should be able to do it. And
the times that I won't be there and he'll be in the studio, I want it to look like Max Headroom when I'm on that screen. Doing that stuff.
Now the other technological question I have, and again, this is all happening right now, so we're still going through this live with you, part of our planning situation. When people are listening on the app, if they can't get a good signal on their car radio, for example, if they're listening on their phone, if they want to make a phone call to be on the air with us, can they, when they have to get out of the app, they get on their face thing, dial up the phone number, and then once you answer the phone in the studio and put them on hold, will they be able to hear the app again while they're waiting to get on the air?
I have no idea.
Okay, I mean, we want to make them. We want to try to figure out a way to make sure that they can get phone calls in.
I mean, people can hear a topic on the app and then call the phone and sit on hold.
And listen over the phone.
Well,
they're
that's
on
my
hold.
question. Can they hear the show over the phone?
This is stuff we can figure out down the road.
Okay, but we're working all this out, and you're part of history, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing this right now as we speak. Okay, well, we have some newsy stuff, show type stuff, and again, I spent a lot of time on this podcast. So, I was watching the other night. When I do work on a podcast and have the TV on in the background. When I was in college after the Marines came back, my wife couldn't believe it because I had the TV on every minute while I was studying for college. Anyway, I was watching a Family Guy from about 10 years ago, which is freaking hysterical. And one of them was there's a table of people sitting around, and there's this raggedy chick, and she's smoking, and she's got a beer in front of her, and she's saying, "Yeah, I really like going into town and have those townies do me real good, you know." It's Helen Keller. And then somebody says, "Oh, Helen, I love going into town and getting really roughed up by those guys." And she's smoking, having a beer. And then the adult comes in behind her and kind of rubs her head. So she starts going, waving her arms in the air. And then the adult leaves. And then she says, "Yeah, I've been pulling that crap since I was 7 years old." And I'm dying laughing about making fun of. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And then they were bragging about it. They were saying, it's really not fair to most people in schools because those Asians are so freaking smart. They're so smart. Oh, sure, they're all hairless and they have little tiny penises, but they're so proficient. I mean, I just went after another doing snot bubbles on the way Family Guy used to get away with stuff. You wouldn't see a lot of that on TV anymore.
The horses in the Brokeback Mountain is one of the funniest things.
I wish I could quit you. Well, get out of my sleeping bag. That's number 1. 2, put that away. 3,
Where are the guys today? Are they sleeping in? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, anybody seen
the horse
Buck
sticks
and
his
Roger?
head in the tent, starts screaming.
Wish I could quit you. I got a really good idea how you got to start. What the hell are you doing with that? Oh, mercy. I got an interesting message here I want to pass along, and it kind of reminds me of the story of By the way, I'm feeling very clammy in here. Is it just me?
Clammy?
I don't think I'm having an attack. I got a note here from Ed. And it says, he says, "You'll love," again, pardon my French, I'm quoting he says, "You'll love this shit. I just got my share of a successful class action lawsuit against a company through which I lost approximately $1,800. My share of the settlement for the class action settlement, the check for 14 cents. Satisfaction achieved." And I said, "Well done, sir. Save the check." And he says, "I'm going to." And at first I got excited because I thought maybe he got a check from being at the Camp Lejeune lawsuit thing. And again, have you heard anybody who's actually gone through it and gotten any money and had?
I don't think the money's come yet. I haven't heard.
Well, the other thing is, I haven't signed up for it because I was here, but I wasn't there that long, so I can't imagine I'd really do any money. But I assume if you sign up for it through a law firm, you're going to be going through depositions and interviews and trying to find every piece of medical record in your files from wherever they were in the headquarters of this. I mean, it's got to be a nightmare. I haven't heard anything about that. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Larry. Larry wanted to know about something happening. No, that's not going to happen here, Larry. And anyway, no, that's not going to be possible.
The number one question is some people have ain't happening.
No, that won't be possible. Anyway,
we wish well his future endeavors.
Well, it just won't be possible because his choice is one that we wish him well in the future endeavors and hope he's very successful at it in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we do very, 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 very clearly. Excuse me. A couple things. Did you see the video? A fisherman in a kayak off near shore in Hawaii, in a kayak fishing. Okay. All of a sudden, here comes a great white,
Yeah.
attacks the kayak,
Yeah.
and takes a chunk out of the kayak. Thank God he didn't flip them over. They'd both, there's a guy with a camera behind it, they'd both be dead.
Yeah. That people think they're safe in those things.
Oh,
You're not safe in those
kayaks,
things.
no. I've done a kayak. Have you ever ridden a kayak?
They look like seals.
Oh,
Just big, juicy seals.
yeah. Have you ever? I've done. I've
And the people think they're safe out there in those things.
if you want to do a kayak, you better know how to flip it over and flip yourself
flip
back
back.
up again.
Pretty quick.
You'll
you
drown.
gotta use the paddle.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not. It's and they're the first time you get in the
the
kayak,
first thing you
you're
do
gonna
is
be
hit
going
its
like
nose,
this.
aren't you? Don't you want to hit its nose?
You're panicking at that point. You know you're.
Well,
done.
it came out of nowhere. I mean, it just bang, and all of a sudden
Usually
it's right there on
they
your
come
boat.
up from below. You don't see them.
Yeah. This one kind of came sideways. Anyway, I thought that was pretty freaking scary. And again, yike. Pete Davis, Holy Crap at Sports, best podcast. Are you going to still be doing your podcast, I wonder?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, you're
Because
okay.
I can do mine from home and it's
Yeah.
easy, knock it off, blah, blah, blah.
Now,
I can do it.
and I assume later on today, maybe, or
Yeah.
okay, Holy Crap at Sports. Now, I haven't. Freaking Braves. You know,
Well, it's
well,
May.
it's
I
May.
mean,
Yeah,
first of all,
know.
I warned everybody. Blue Jays aren't afraid of the Braves.
No, they're not.
They've been beating the hell out of them for 3 years now. So
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise
And
me.
again, but then against Boston's got a great year. Baltimore's having stuff. They're saying Detroit's is favored to win the freaking division this year.
If they go in and have trouble
Or
in
the
Texas,
pennant, for that matter.
Texas the next 3 games, then we start getting a little concerned because they should be able to beat the Rangers, who are better than they used to be, but still. Come on.
In fact, I was looking at the box score something this morning. I don't know the last time I've ever seen a ball game with the Texas Rangers. I'd forgotten they were really a team. I mean, you got the Houston Astros, but I'd
Really?
forgotten there was a team, the
Well,
Texas
they
Rangers.
sucked for so long.
But when's the last time you heard the name Texas Ranger? Have you ever seen them on Sports Center?
Yes.
Well, I haven't. Anyway, I just I said, oh my God, it reminded me of the Colt 45s, which was the original Houston team. I was in the Superdome when they had. I did some kind of
Astrodome or
the Astrodome. And I did some kind of special thing with the Colt 45s. I don't remember what or why. Anyway,
what I
the thing. Now, let me ask you one sports thing. Again, I don't like the NBA. I don't follow the NBA. I don't believe in what they believe in. I think they're a bunch of disgraceful scumbags, most of them, including the coaches, most of them. Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Idiot.
The videos are all over the place. First of all, he's in a car with his buddies, and they're playing some kind of gangster rap song, and they're
course they are.
hyperventilating, boogie dance, and everything else. And all of a sudden, at some point, I didn't really see. I missed it, but apparently he shows a gun or pulls out a gun, and then the guy takes the video so not to show him. But this is like the second time now that this superstar basketball player Ja Morant has been goofing around and showing off a gun in videos. And although it's perfectly legal to have a gun, he's
He was
legally,
not in a nightclub.
well, no, you're not supposed to take it into places where it's not allowed. But again, it's not technically it's not illegal to be in a car and have a gun in your belt. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But it's an NBA superstar. He was in a nightclub. I mean, it just looks
He
bad.
went
It's real
through
bad.
an entire program to educate
This
him
is
about
not
this.
the first time this is.
This man is not only incredibly entitled and narcissistic, but he's surrounded by yes men and people that are harming him and giving him bad advice. And he's dumber than a rock. No more excuses. This guy is dumber than a rock. And he's got so much money. No one tells him no. And he's going to either get shot or shoot someone because he thinks he's a gangster rapper. And he's not.
It's the dumbest. And again, here's what bothered me. And we've talked about this as a philosophy issue some time ago. While I was watching the video of there were how many, 2 or 3 guys in the car, and they were playing the music and they were dancing and singing. I realized I had no idea what they were saying. They were speaking in their own tongue,
Vernacular.
their own language.
Jargon.
They were also doing moves. I mean, they had like a whole choreographed thing.
Amazing.
And I thought to myself, oh my God, I don't know anything about this culture. I don't know these people.
I don't want to know.
Well, I mean, but I thought to myself, they can, everybody once in a while said, well, we want to have the black residents who want to have their own portion of the country. There is such a split in the cultures. I mean, the whole. It's not just an NBA culture. I mean, it's a whole culture of black Americans that I don't understand.
You know who does know?
No.
Every white kid in America knows.
I guess.
And you know what?
Not me.
I'm sorry. It's just not racial or bigoted or something. That's a bad culture.
No, what I'm saying is
that gangster thing is bad.
There's a definite split, and it's a deliberate split, and it's like, oh yeah, well, we'll just have our own thing, you whitey, and keep you the hell out of it. I mean,
well, that's
just,
fine.
It's a bad
if it
sign.
wasn't so friggin' violent,
I know.
and that violence spread to everybody else.
I know.
And it spreads through the culture, because that's our American pop culture
I
now.
know.
That's what's running our pop culture is stuff like that.
Yeah.
And none of it seems to be good these days.
Well,
none of it's uplifting. You know, every I was watching this other day. They come out with a new movie, a new TV show on Netflix and Amazon, a new game to play. Every one of them is this dystopian future with everything has gone to hell. You're walking around in ruins. There's nothing to eat. You got to fight zombies. If that's what all the youth of today sees, why should they be optimistic about the future?
It's all negative. I mean, look at the
It's all
negative.
and then they're told by their parents that we're killing the planet when we're not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the difference. After World War II, I'm a baby boomer, and after World War II, everything was exploding for the good. Neighborhoods were exploding. Subdivisions were brand new in America. No one had heard. Everybody had a car. Everybody was traveling. Everybody was up. Businesses were booming, just exploding after World War II. A positive, then race relations. We took on civil rights. And nowadays, it's all just sinking downwards. I don't feel, any heavenly lifting of, oh my God, it's about time we finally found the new. Go to that, where's that coming from now? It's all, oh my God, this guy's going to, oh geez,
every
critical
study,
race theory, oh God, yeah.
Every study, every poll shows the youth of America do not look optimistic for the future. Why should they? Everything that's being shoved down their throat is negative.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and I'm going to mention this business about the splitting of the cultures in a moment, because President Swamp Creature was at it again over the weekend. In fact, I don't know if you want to play a little soundbite of that famous comment that he made. Once again, we'll talk about that in a second. First of all, because we have actually some newsy stuff here today. Again, about the media, typical. This is the Atlanta Al Jazeera Constitution, okay? Big, huge front page story, and this is over the weekend. Here we go. Big, huge headline. Yes, we're paying a lot less for gas. Holy cow, we're paying a lot less for gas, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible. Thank you, Democrats, and President showers with daughter. Oh, wait, there's another big headline. Few signs of predicted chaos at the border. We're doing even better. The border, people are coming. It's down from what it was. Well, okay. All right, let's say at border, there used to be 100 people a day. Then there were 10 million a day, and now there's only 5 million a day. So it's way down and much better than it used to be. That's what numbers. Those are statistics.
Do you see the photo of all of them lined up in an airport?
Oh my God!
With their free tickets to anywhere they want to go, their free Samsung Galaxy 10 phone, which unlimited texting and unlimited calls. They don't have to pay for any of that. Well, we're paying for not only our phones but their phones.
And we're going to talk about all is great because of Democratic leadership. That's again, they changed the narrative by changing history and changing facts. They just ignored and put. But again, wow, gas is really going to a lot. Oh, please, I just filled up the other day for $4.26 or something. You gotta give me, for my car I had to use high test. Let's see. Hold on a second. I wanted to do. Well, we'll get that in a second. Oh, the homeless. We'll talk about the homeless vets.
Before you do that, people concerned about your horse videos. What are you gonna do with those?
Oh, in fact, I was going to. I'm trying to. I've got. Okay, I will definitely still keep going to the stable. I'm going to have to try to figure this out. I think it's very possible. I'm going to. Well,
you can't do it as much as you're doing.
I can't do it as much as I do it, obviously. But what I try to do even now is when I go to the stable now, I will try to take at least 7 or 8 videos. In fact, on Saturday I took 6 or 7 or 8. On Sunday I took 6, 7 or 8. Today I'm not going to the stable. On the days we do podcasts, I don't go to the stable. But when I get home, I will put some videos on that I did not feed from over the weekend.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is saving videos to put on days when I can't go. So I'll keep doing that. But I think what'll happen is if I'm gonna force myself to drive down 400 and 285 every day, twice a day, to go into the radio station, which is going to be a freaking nightmare, especially going home at rush hour at 285
You don't
and
have
400.
to. We can stay a little later.
I know, but again, we're back to work, so I'm not complaining. I mean, we're a chance to go back to work. So, but again, I've got to figure this out. But if I do the show from my home a couple of days a week, on those days I probably will, or at least one of those days, will go to the stable because I'll have time, not having to worry about traffic, and take some videos and then feed those later on. And on weekends I'll go I'll probably go both days. I don't know. But again, I'll keep feeding whatever. The
On
most I can do. I'll
YouTube
do.
and stuff like that.
On Rumble and YouTube and my personal. And again, my own, I don't even know the name of my Kim Peterson Facebook page. The Kimmer Facebook page, I don't know what it is, but it's
Kim Peterson.
Kim Peterson
That's
Facebook.
your personal, because we got nothing to do with that.
Right. No. But I put videos. I send horse videos to my kids and my favorite ex-wife. I send them to my Kim Peterson Facebook page. I put them on Rumble and I put them on YouTube. I do 4 horse feeds every day. And I'll keep doing this as best I can.
Because people were asking.
Yeah. Again, thank you again. And they're, it was either horse videos or try to get a girlfriend. So horse videos are a lot cheaper than try. And again, at my age,
Feeding horses is
it's not
cheaper
really
than
an
feeding
issue
a woman.
anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Damn it! No, it's only been 19 years.
You're going to be another radio star. They'll be
the
lining up.
groupies will be all over. Yeah,
Oh,
they'll,
my God.
they'll be waiting for me right there in front of the 800 Braves Plaza, whatever the hell it is.
Well, I mean, think about this too. When we're leaving, we're right next to the Roxy, and that's where a lot of the young people go see music today. So,
Well, I'm going to have a little sign that says, "I'm the Kimmer." Right here, Kimmer. Meet the Kimmer right here.
You can open for the Pixies.
How much money how much will you pay me to have a sign that
a
says,
sandwich
"I'm the
board."
Kimmer. I'm the new
actually
afternoon
a
guy."
sandwich board,
Sandwich
marching up
board.
and down.
I'm the Kimmer.
they're actually coming to the
every
Roxy
day.
in a couple weeks.
What?
The Pixies. They're actually coming. Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. Anyway, we were mentioning about President Scuzzbag and his divisive thing. We'll play that for you in a second.
Cindy says salmon is expensive, so
Oh, my.
you're better off with the horses.
They stay with the horses. They are in New York State. They are moving homeless vets out of their homes, of their hotel rooms they've been given, so that the illegal immigrants can take over those housing units, and they'll figure out the vets in another time at a different situation. The vets were told, you got to leave right now, you got to get out. So they were booted out while they make room for the illegal aliens, the illegal lawbreakers.
Yeah, they're calling them, even Fox today calling them migrants.
Yeah.
They're
No,
not
they're illegal
migrants.
law-breaking aliens. Yeah, they're illegal aliens. They're sneakers.
And we don't hate these people. I don't blame them for what they're trying to
I
do.
would do the same thing.
But they're not
'Cause-
migrants.
Right. And again, who can blame them? It's an
Yes.
open border. Of
Well,
course they're
the
coming
ones I
in.
blame? The ones that are coming up here waving their
Well,
fucking
yeah.
flag.
Yeah, you take that and shove it up your nose.
Shove it up
Yeah.
your fucking ass.
Yeah.
you're,
Well, either nose or fucking ass, either way. it's
we're
fine.
going to get this out of our system.
Yeah. Let's get this out of our system now.
I'm
'cause
telling you,
'cause in a
they
couple
should
of
fold
days-
it up in a tri-corner shape and shove it up
And
their ass.
set it on fire first. How about that? Yeah.
They're waving it. They were waving
Yeah.
the Honduran flag, and the Mexican was like,
Yeah,
"You're just
Colombia,
left.
I don't think so.
You just left those shitholes."
Peru, how about? Oh, yeah, there's your Peru right there. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Where are the American flag? Did you see in the old black and white photo videos of the Italians and the Irish and the Jewish
Yeah.
people coming over in the 1800s and
Yeah.
early 1900s? They're passing the Statue of Liberty. Are they waving Spanish flags
No.
and German
They're
flags?
waving the American flag.
American flag.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
So Teddy Roosevelt said, "You're not a hyphen American. You're either an American or not.
Yeah.
You're not this American, this hyphen American."
Yeah. And again, I love the fact that they're complaining now that in New York City, the mayor says, "This is not fair." He's even complaining about Biden. Biden kicked him off one of his advisory committees.
Yeah.
Because the mayor of New York City complained about we got another 700 coming in. How'd you like to have 10,000 a day coming into Texas? I mean, they've had 5 million coming across the border. How would you like to deal with that? I mean, I honestly, and they have the nerve to complain in Chicago and New York or someplace where they're getting a few hundred. Oh my Lord! They dumped a bunch of them again on Vice President Shiftless and Lazy's doorstep at the Naval Observatory where she lives. Vice President Shiftless, which I thought was pretty funny. We'll talk about President Potato Head here in a second. First of all, the Marine Daniel Penny. They've started a GoFundMe for, thank God, a GoFundMe account. He's got a couple of million, and it's probably going to go even higher than that, thank God. And by the way, they made it very clear, or he's made it very clear, and this is very classy. He's made it very clear, or his lawyer has, any extra money, they've raised money to pay for his legal defense and for his expenses. Clearly, he'll be. They'll kill him if he's roaming around going to a movie or something or out to dinner. They'll kill him. Somebody will kill him. So he's going to have to live somewhere. They're going to have to take care of him. They're going to keep him out of public sight.
I think even black people in New York are thinking that guy was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was punching women in the face or threatening them.
Tried to kidnap a 7-year-old girl. He punched a grandmother and threw her into a car.
I think even the black people are going, come on.
No, did you see the black lawyer and the black fat?
Well, they're different.
All of a sudden,
they're making money.
All of a sudden, big fat grandma comes out with a cane and, we need money because my son was killed by that Marine. Well, she's in it for the freaking cash. And that scumbag lawyer saying, the fact that he was arrested 40 times, a Marine didn't know that. That was no excuse. That's got nothing to do with it. That's got nothing. I mean, it's just the pain, you freaking pimp, you scumbag. It's like that guy. Who's that scumbag? A plumper. His name is Crunk or something. Clunk or Crunk. Crump. There's another black lawyer named Crump. Like Andy Griffith show, Miss Crump, remember her?
I think it's referring to John Candy from Who's Harry's Crump?
That could possibly be that too. No, it's the black lawyer who took care of not the George Floyd case, but the other a whole bunch of other ones. Anyway, they're just pimps. They're in it for the freaking money. It's disgusting and disgraceful. And so the Marine, thank God's already raised a couple of million bucks. They should never have charged him. And more information's coming out, including people who are scared. There's a grandmother who has already called the attorney, the Marine's attorney, and she said, I won't give you my name because I know what they're going to do to me. But I'm telling you now, I was there. I've been a witness. He is a hero. But I can't testify because I know what they're going to do to me. Because of people like Ocasio, Bang Bang, Stupidio, AOC, the Marine should be tried for murder. Well, they're trying him for manslaughter. They're going to try him for manslaughter. They never should have arrested him, obviously, and the judge should have released him on his own recognizance. Like he's going to flee. He's the guy who's going to be causing a problem. He stayed there the whole time.
Cameron, that's white supremacy.
White supremacy. Yeah, he's a Marine, so he's
that's
obviously
the
a killer and
problem.
A psychopath and a complete
it's not black on black crime or black on everyone else's crime. It's white. These white supremacists that no one knows who they are, no one sees them, no one talks to them, but by God, they're everywhere. Did you see the federales walking around Washington D.C. that just happened to show up again, all dressed like FBI agents?
I'll be darned. Yeah,
same blue shirt.
Yeah, not one person followed them. And another thing, when they were put in handcuffs, it was very obvious that they didn't remove their masks.
Yeah, well,
that's the first thing police officers do, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't understand why the police aren't taking the masks off in places that have mask laws. Take the damn masks off. Let us see who they are.
Well, for one thing, it's not legal. In the state of Georgia, you are not allowed to walk around with a mask.
That's how they got rid of the Klan.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, it does. But there are costume parties, stuff like that. But again, you are not allowed to walk into a store or walk around in public things with a mask on,
unless it's
obviously
unless you're one of those crazy people still walking around with a mask.
Yeah, but anyway, they should have let him on his own freaking recognizance. His life is probably over, and it's like the name escapes you now for the Milwaukee shooting where self-defense Rittenhouse, yeah,
Rittenhauser,
and again, his life is never going to be the same. He was supposed to graduate from college. You think he's going to show up on this ceremony stage to accept his diploma? Please. He'll be, have a sniper up in the balcony or something. And my point was that his lawyers already said the money that comes in will be to pay for his legal expense, his expenses, living expense, stuff like that. And any excess will be donated to a mental health organization for the homeless or something. So again, it's not like he's going to suddenly try to make money off everything. Also, a couple other questions. There were 2 other people who helped hold that guy down on the platform. Where's their arrest? How come they're not being arrested? Those cops in the George Floyd, there was one cop that went to prison because he said, stay back, stay back. And so where are the other two guys being arrested? I mean, this is such specific bullshit to me, I can't even freaking stand it.
If they convict him, there needs to be
we're going up there.
There needs to be a nation. No, we're not just ever going there again.
Well, yeah.
The nationwide boycott of New York City.
Well, we'll go up there to form a ring around the whole freaking state.
It'll be like Bud Light. Just don't go anymore. Don't buy their products. Don't go
Scumbags.
visit New York. It'll take them out of business.
And if those fail, I guarantee you that scuzzbag lawyer who's going to get a pile of money for the family of the scumbag subway
the
terrorist.
city will pay 'em.
And the big fat grandma saying it's not fair, it's not poor grandma, like that. Yeah. If they win, millions of dollars, and they will, then anybody who was hassled by that guy should sue the family to take the money as reparations for what the scumbag did to him and to them.
Good luck with that.
And yeah, I know, but again, just to drive them miserable. I mean, it's just wrong, and someone's got to stop it. I mean, it's just, if they're going to be, the George Floyd family. Well, I guess they're all probably living on in high rises in Aruba or something now. God. Anyway, please. Another scumbaggy thing here. I want to end the news. By the way,
yes.
Did we talk about farmhouse printing? You want to do a little
yet.
farmhouse?
You want to do it right
Let's
now?
do a little farmhouse, and then I want to tell you about the phony Brittany Greiner. Don't buy it for a minute. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I just want to say that
just heard from
Atlanta
Eric.
Custom Closets and Farmhouse Printing Co. have been with us just about from the start, if not from the start.
Yeah.
They're great. And there's been a whole bunch of others along the way, too. We want to thank everybody who's been with us for no matter how much time you're there.
I mean, M&S Title Pawn, Wise RV Glass. We'll talk about them here in a minute.
Yeah, the Wise RV Glass.
Wise RV Glass
from the
been
beginning.
with us for a very long time. Flagco again.
Oh, there's a million different that have done it. Farmhouse Printing Co. right here in Sonoya, Georgia. They are great. Eric and the gang can do all your printing needs. They do all our printing needs. Holy Crap at Sports, Shannon Burke. By the way, we're going up against Shannon Burke. Did you know that?
Well,
3 to 6.
but
you can listen to both shows.
Well, now all radio's digital. So,
Yeah, it's all
you can
digital.
hear it anytime you want now.
Yeah,
The whole
we're not up
world
against
is
anybody.
different.
All right.
It's all different.
But anyway, Farmhouse Printing Co., they do everything, and no minimum order, no setup fees. They got laser engraving for the stuff you like. Shirts, hats, signs, all kinds of stuff. Leather goods, whatever you need, they can do the printing for you at farmhouseprintingco.com.
They did. I made up a golf towel with a phony championship picture on it for my son-in-law. So they did golf towels. They did the blanket for the podcat. I mean, all kinds of good stuff. Very good. And we just heard from Eric congratulating us, and hope we can continue this long-term relationship.
By the way, someone's asked, what is Lucas going to do? There's no more podcast.
Oh my God!
What's he gonna do?
Well, you should bring him in. Does he travel?
Yeah, that'll be a great idea.
Does he? No, sir. Does he travel well? Some cats
I mean, he
do.
does, but I mean, I'm there all day.
Yeah,
Well, have a litter box in there. Bring a litter box in there.
yeah, that's what everyone said. That's what they smell like cat shit when people go in there. That's what they want to see. Oh, by the way, I was stopped by the guard dog. I got a long dirt road, gravel road out, and I was met by the Pyrenees.
Oh, really?
Which is big enough to stick its head in the window, like, "Where are you going? Where are you going? Can I see some ID?" So I had to give it a treat, so it would leave me alone.
Oh, that's very cool. We're going to have a meeting about programming and stuff, and we'll do it up at your place so I can play with the dog.
Up there.
We'll
Hey, I'm telling you, there's enough room to hit golf balls.
Well, there you are. I'll bring some guns and
You can't shoot the
no, I can't shoot the gun. Anyway, okay, Brittany Greiner. Everybody's making a big deal. Oh, Brittany Greiner. She's the big. I guess she's an actual. Anyway, whatever.
She's a man.
She's a man. I'm sorry. That's not a girl.
Just
anyway,
like Michael Obama.
Yeah. She got out of the Russian jail. And she hated America, refused to. She would kneel for the national anthem or stay in the locker room. She hated America, everything it stood for. Went to Russia, went to prison because she was an idiot, a drug abuser, and got caught and came back. And all of a sudden, the first game they showed her back, and everybody's saying, I said the headline, Brittany Greiner has made a 180-degree turn from now loving America. Oh, please. The picture of her for the first time back is of her standing with her hands behind her back and her head bowed. She's not exactly got her hand over her heart singing along with the national anthem.
Yeah, who does anymore?
And all she said instead, and by the way, I read the quotes of her, and I don't have them in front of me, so I don't remember word for word. But her quotes were something like, "Well, it certainly is. It takes an opportunity to change things about certain things that happen because of events that happen." Instead of saying, "I was so wrong. I'm so sorry. I love my country. I can't believe I was such an idiot not to realize how great this country is to welcome me back for the stars and stripes." Oh no, she didn't go anywhere near about, "I love my country. I wish I hadn't done that." Jane Fonda never pulled off a real exact thing either. And Brittany Greiner, as far as I'm concerned, is still getting away with it because she doesn't want to offend the people who still hate America, including all those WNBA players. 90% of those In fact, I saw the picture. I can't believe I didn't bring it with me. I remember it in my head right now. I saw the picture, the first picture I saw of her, Brittany Greiner, the whole line of all the girl basketball girls. And Brittany Griner's got her head down with her hands behind her back. Now, that's like being arrested. I mean, that's a handcuff thing. That's not a positive, "I love my country" gesture. Hands behind her back, her head bowed. Every single other girl on the line is either moving around or got their head down or talking to somebody. One girl out of the whole line has her hand on her heart and is standing at attention. One out of the entire freaking group. Why? So don't tell me about this, "I love my country." You do not, you lying bitch. You're a lying scumbag. And now and the media saying, "Oh, she's changed her mind. Oh, she changed for America." My ass. Don't believe it. Until I see her singing the national anthem, "I love America. I'm Brittany Greiner."
Why is it the people in this country that have benefited the most from being in this country are the most ungrateful people out there?
Well, it's a great question.
And why is it that you have the poor people, the lower middle class or something, the workers that have to work their ass off, and they're really not seeing a lot of the American dream, just pieces of it? They are the most patriotic.
So grateful. Yeah, I was going to talk about the Mexicans I know who came in here legally and have worked their whole lives, are the most honest, decent, hardworking, patriotic Americans. You'd love for neighbors and people to just. I mean, everybody, everyone like that I've ever known. I have a taxi driver. I only use one taxi service because it's a Mexican taxi service, and they're great people. I mean, I can trust them. It's I'm telling you. And again, they're the most patriotic and hardworking, and probably the least rewarded for their efforts of the demographic.
They probably didn't get a free phone when they came over.
No, I guarantee you that nobody got a free phone. I didn't know they were still doing that.
Who the hell are they calling?
That's the Obama phone.
Who are they calling?
Well, their relatives to say, "I'll have your money for you." But in 2
Bro, I
weeks.
made it. Where are you?
They're sending our money over there.
Well, remember, I still, if I ever get anything, I try to send money to my brother who's in a problem and anything there. If you go to the store and you use what's it, Western Union or is it Western Union to send money from Georgia to another state, it's something like $22. A fee to send $100 or whatever. If you want to send it to Mexico, it's $8. It's cheaper to send money to Mexico than it is to send money to another state in America.
You know why that is?
Because they have a shitload more, and they'll have more people do it if it's cheaper.
This is how a system is set up to benefit some and not others. Ellis Arnell, the governor in the 1950s of Georgia, had to go and sue all the way up to the Supreme Court to get the train rates changed. Because after the Civil War, the South was used by the North as basically a place for raw materials and raw goods and raw labor. Yeah. It was cheaper to send goods from Birmingham, Alabama to Buffalo, New York than it was from Buffalo to Atlanta. And he had to go to the Supreme Court to sue the train companies so they stopped that shit.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
It was a drain of everything was going north.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. It's a drain. Everything's going south to Mexico and Central America.
Yep. Well, let's see. Oh, God, we got so much going on here. Let's see. Oh,
shouldn't you do one of your ads right now?
I should do one of my ads.
Because I'm hungry.
Right
I want a
now.
piece of chocolate here.
All right. Well, in
ads,
that case,
damn it.
we mentioned Wise RV Glass. I brought in extra candy for the boys, too, by the way. Our friends at Wise RV Glass. And again, they've been with us for a very, very long time. And again, I love these local mom and pop family owned businesses because everybody's chipping in, everybody's pulling their weight. And this is a great idea from the very beginning. Wise, W-I-S-E, Wise RV Glass is the company that will take care of any and all glass issues on your RV, motor coach, camper, vehicle like that. Including, it might be something simple like a crack in a rear view mirror or a side mirror, and you think, oh, I'm not going to call somebody a cover. No. This is what they do. Even fogged up double pane windows, or those hard to find one-piece flat front windshields in some of these RVs, really hard to find. They got it all to take care of it, and they come to you. The key is it's an all-mobile service. Wise RV Glass comes to you. Use your own frame, window frame, save you a lot of money. You get a hold of them, bing, bang, boom. No job is too small. Don't worry about saying, oh, yeah, side view mirror, I can go try to do it. No, you don't want to be messing with that stuff. This is what they do. Wise RV Glass. No job too small or too big. If you have a whole fleet of school buses or something, or trucks or whatever, they can take care of all your window and glass issues as well. All of North Georgia, all of Metro Atlanta. Here's a phone number. Say hi to Carl, the dad's retired. Russell's taken over the business with the family, and they'll be happy to talk to you. Here's the area code, 470-345-6521. And on the web, wiservglass.com. And again, thank you, Wise RV Glass, and all of our sponsors, because you helped us try to keep this silly thing going. Anyway, so again, thank you. Now, okay, this was, and I don't know if we want to play any of sound there, Flounder, if you want to get some or think about it or whatever. Oops, Biden, the famous one that was going around. You want to do that? What happened was,
What happened was,
you see the beginning there. Once again, President Stupid is getting creamed because he's once again shown. I think he's even a worse presidential hater and divider than Barack Hussein Puditat was.
he hates white people.
But he's doing it now deliberately on purpose, and it's not just pandering. It's even worse. I mean, it's deliberate initiating. Starting a fight. I mean, he's asking for it.
They want it. Division.
Yeah. He was at the commencement address at Howard University over the weekend. And once again, it reminded me of when he came out on Independence Day from Independence Hall with the two dressed blues Marines guarding the entrance as he comes out with a fiery, flaming gates of hell to complain about white supremacy and Americans who voted for Trump are the biggest danger to America. Well, the son of a bitch, and I don't mind saying, I'm not talking about the presidency, I'm talking about this particular president. He's a liar and a cheat and a scoundrel and an anti-American terrorist as far as I'm concerned. And here's what he did, had the balls to say once again to try to drive Americans against each other over the freaking weekend at a college in America.
Stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
Where is it?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because I'm at a black HBCU. I say it wherever I go.
Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
Where is there another black or another white Howard University?
The HBC, it stands for Black Universities Who Hate White People. Thanks to people
One
like
of the
our
black people
scumbag president.
stood up and held a sign that says, "This guy and the vice president don't care about us."
Yeah. It's true. I mean, dangers of white supremacy is the issue.
Where is this? Where is all this white supremacy?
I didn't get my memo. I didn't get my meeting.
Can you name one white supremacist
No.
that you know? Don't you think we'd be in on it?
The last one I remember was like maybe David Duke in the 90s or something.
Don't you think we
Or
at
who was
least
the guy,
know
Stone,
somebody?
Stone was a Stone Mountain guy.
Venable.
No, there was another one.
Joseph Venable. And
No, there was another one. The famous Stone Mountain guy. Oh, what was his name? Yeah.
You mean Cobb County. The crazies were always in Cobb County.
No, but there was somebody from
Larry
the
McDonald
Stone.
and-
Oh, God, I can't believe it. Back in the 70s and 80s, he was the famous racist. Oh, I can't believe I don't remember his name. Anybody on the podcast listening now, who was the famous? It was a famous. He was in Stone Mountain all the time, and he was all in the news all the time. J.B. Stoner. J.B. Stoner.
J.B. Stoner. Oh, yeah.
That was Stone.
But he wasn't
Stone
from
Mountain.
that. I think he was from Cobb County.
Yeah, by Stone, I was thinking of Stone Mountain, but his name was Stoner. J.B. Stoner, I was thinking of.
Yeah. But you think we would know one of these people?
That's just ridiculous. He said, we know American history has not always been a fairy tale, a constant push and pull for more than 240 years. We're all created equal. The battle's not over. He said, to stand against poison of white supremacy as I did in my inaugural address. By the way, he also mentioned, I don't know if I put it in here or not, but he also said, let's
Say
see. He said the reason I'm trying to do it from memory. I thought I had the note and I can't find it. The reason he did this from memory. He decided to run for president. He decided to run for president in 2017 when he saw the white supremacists marching in Charlottesville, and he wanted to take on the forces of good and evil. And that's when Joe Biden decided to run for president. Gee, that doesn't sound right. But again, he makes up these stories to show that, well, when I saw the white supremacists, I wanted to be your leader, to be.
How many were there?
Dirty, stinking.
How many were there? And by the way, they were peaceful until the Antifa people showed up.
Right. And incidentally,
which, by the way, I have no problem with kicking their ass.
No, absolutely.
I'm just saying, don't.
If you're asking for trouble, you're going to get it. Then you can't complain. You got it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for, please. So many, and by the way, wasn't that the case where Donald Trump made the mistake of saying, well, there are good people on both sides? What he was talking about was the issue of tearing down statues. Trump was asked about, whether, well, these people want to tear down the statues. Those people don't want to tear down statues. And, Trump was saying, there's good people on both sides of the debate. Of the statues, not of being a Nazi. So everybody said, well, Trump said there were good Nazis. Trump says there, and that's what started it. That started the whole Trump Nazi business from Charlottesville.
Wasn't Werner von Braun a good Nazi?
Yeah. But again, but because Trump, it's like saying, well, John McCain, I like my heroes alive or something, it's just stupid.
Okay, you need to calm down. Some of the listeners say we don't want a repeat of what happened 10 years ago when you started another radio show.
It's already coming.
Well, do not have another heart attack.
No, I can't. It would be my last one. I know that. And by the way, if it happens, I hope it happens on the air. Raise a glass and everybody talk about whatever you want to do, and then have a fundraiser for my kids. That's all I'm trying to do now is try to get a nest egg again for my children. That's all I give a shit about. I don't care about, I want to pay my bills, and I'll never buy another thing for me if I have anything going. A nest egg for my kids. If I drop dead on doing this stupid show, nest egg for my kids, please. Okay, there you go.
Try not to drop dead. At least not for a year or two.
Well, 6 or 8 months, something like that. I think we're good till the rest of the year, but after that, no
by the
guarantees.
way, I need some ideas.
Yeah.
We're off about 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
And we're going to be working on the show and getting it ready show. But I'm going to disappear for a while.
Yeah.
This is one of the...
you should.
Who knows when we're going to another vacation.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about Europe. I was looking... A lot of these countries have lowered the vaccine thing so you can get into now.
Across the ocean to go to Europe?
Why? If the Russians attack, it don't matter
where
we are.
That, just,
I'm thinking Iceland.
Boy,
the girls are 9-1. They're Scandinavian. They like Americans.
Yeah, but isn't it like 9 degrees already up there?
But I've never seen the lights.
Well, then you should go.
The
Aurora
Northern
Borealis.
Lights. Wouldn't that be
They
cool?
were here a few,
Aurora Borealis was. I saw some video recently.
No, they were. It was like it happens
something.
once in I don't know how many years.
It was like Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, or something.
See, Iceland,
or
Michigan, Iceland,
whatever.
But I'm saying Ireland or Italy.
Good for you. Then absolutely, you got a little
But the thing
companion.
is,
of
do you
some
want to
kind?
No, I'll go by myself. Why bring sand to the beach?
Well, there you are. Well, you.
But do you
so
really
you're going to
wanna
go
just
to
spend a
Iceland,
week?
hoping to have you're hoping to connect with one of those 6-foot-tall, white-haired, ice blue-eyed, gorgeous knockout
Vikings.
Icelandic chicks. Yeah, what are the chances? Hey, it could happen.
You never know.
Maybe they're saying, "Ooh, American from down below, for goodness now."
And they didn't see a lot of us for a while because they had the restrictions.
I say go to Iceland.
And the thing is, I want to do like something foreign because you never know when the idiots are going to put in the
restrictions,
the vaccine passport.
Yeah, but they just killed it now. It's as of I think today, isn't it the official thing? No more official.
Even New Zealand has
disease.
opened up.
Yeah.
And once New Zealand opens up,
I've
that
always
pretty
wanted
much.
to go to Australia and New Zealand. That's what I'd want.
Oh, fuck Australia, but I would love to see
New Zealand.
But that's just too. I thought maybe even Tahiti, but it takes 2 days to get there.
Well, it's probably going to take a while to get to Reykjavik.
Hell, it takes 11, 13 hours just to go to Israel or something.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
My,
but Iceland and Ireland are like, poop, you're there, you know?
My starter wife and her husband just came back from Israel. They travel a lot. They apparently have a good thing going there for a thing as well. Oh, they go to
do
fish.
that?
They do fishing camps and.
Once she got rid of you, everything
Well,
was-
yeah, things worked out pretty good
Up and
after I started her off there on the nest egg thing. Well, no, I the last one, millionaire's good for her, not for me, but. And then lying about everything, which I think I'd head off.
no.
Well,
Get this out of your system.
vengeance,
because you can't do this on the air.
Well, no, I can't do that. Hee ho ho. All right, hold on a minute. I got two more Biden things.
So I need ideas. Where is a good cheap place to go that I could get a ticket or something?
Did you ever
in the next
make
week
it up
or two?
to Rocky Harbor, Maine, the coast, and so forth?
Oh,
right
yeah, I've
before
done that.
But
I've
I
done
mean,
that.
recently,
See, bless you.
Gesundheit there.
I don't want to go anywhere in America because I can do that anytime. I want to go someplace that I may not be able to go to very soon. That'll say, no, you don't have the vaccine, you can't come here.
Well,
And that could happen any moment. You never know.
you pick, South America,
I have
Central America.
no interest in
Where-
South or Central America. Hell, they're all coming here.
Well, then it's either Europe or North. I mean,
It's either Ireland all the way over to Israel is what I'm thinking. Or maybe the Caribbean.
Caribbean's got, season for storms coming up right now.
That Atlantis is pretty cool in the Bahamas. They have the tubes that
Yeah.
go under in the water.
That would be. You probably could if you're by yourself going to a resort type place. There's got to be 8 or 9 teacher
Spread a little
girls.
money around.
A bunch of teachers, girls show up from taking their vacation together, kind of deal. My older brother Gino used to do that on boats. On what do you call them? The yacht things. What do you call them?
Cruise ships?
Cruise ships. And he would go and he would have dinner jacket. All he'd wear was dinner jackets, and he was a good dancer. And he was golf pro, and he'd swoon all the little groups of ladies, bingity bangity bingity bongity, and because squiring the ladies around the dance floor, and they loved it. Teachers from Minneapolis or something down in the Bahamas on a boat. Ooh, who's the
Time
guy
to
with
cut
a
loose.
tuxedo?
Have another zombie.
Anyway, so Pete needs ideas and suggestions.
Paris is cheap right now, according to Scotty. I've always wanted to go to the Louvre. The Louvre.
And see whether French girls really do a French kiss. You have to find that
They
out.
have underarm hair.
Well, I think I told you about a French girl tried to pick me up once when I was doing TV stuff, but she was too hairy for me. I couldn't stand it.
Where was she hairy?
What's that?
Where was she hairy?
In her underarms. Like I was at a cocktail party thing, and she was hitting on me, and I couldn't stand it. Anyway.
You have scruples, you know.
Try it today, baby. You and me there, hairball. I don't give a damn right now.
Hey, Sasquatch. Give me a
Fine
call.
and dandy. I got my own razor. you just relax. I'll be with you in a minute. Schick to the rescue. Anyway, Biden just told a bunch of black people that white supremacy is the greatest threat to America. This is completely bonkers. Did anybody talk like this in the 80s or 90s? Of course not. Biggest threat in America, the most dangerous people to Homeland Security are white people. You're a pathological liar propped up by the media to help fuel dangerous racial division. That's it. It's pure evil. That's exactly what it is. By the way, did you hear about his degree? When they have somebody visit a college they give them an honorary doctorate. Well, here's the honorary doctorate for President Potato Head. His honorary doctorate from Howard was for, quote, his analytical intellect and popularity on both sides. The president of Howard University gave him high praise, admired for your sound analytical intellect and open embrace for all. Your popularity on both sides of the aisle of the United States led to your illustrious reputation and outstanding service of 36 years as a Democratic senator from Delaware, beginning at a tender age of 29. Oh, my God. Feels like it was a parody. His analytical brain says... the Babylon Bee has congratulated the president from Rehoboth, Delaware. The president has retired for the weekend to his beach house in Delaware for Mother's Day, enjoying a well-deserved rest after working a brutal 5 hours over the past week. President Biden simply run himself ragged in service to our country, said Press Secretary Rajin Chazin, showing off his incredible youthful vigor by putting in an astounding 5 hours of work this week, marking a 4-hour increase from previous weeks. Biden will need an extended break at his beach house to recover from this train. It's remarkable, an aide said. He started working right after lunch, then plowed right through his post-lunch nap. One day, he worked all the way to 2:30. The guy's a freaking machine. Yes, it's true. And one more thing about the left and the goofy balls that are happening here today. Have you heard about furry school? Have you heard about this trend now? I'm not making this up. This particular case is in Florida, in Brevard County, I believe. Members of a school board in, I think it's Brevard, not Brevard. I believe it's Brevard County Schools. Anyway, in Florida, school board members weighing in on the new trend of school students in middle school wearing furry animal clothing in school. It's a common thread about the dress code. And so they had a big issue at the school board because there were actually children in middle schools wearing bunny ears and animal things, tails and stuff.
It's a sexual thing.
One of the first things is one person testified, I believe it or not, I can't believe I have to say this out loud, but the furry dress attire that came up in that thread, I don't even know how many times, referring to dog collars, referring to tails, referring to ears that students are wearing. One board member said she's not a fan of the furry movement. A headband with ears on them was different than students wearing tails. I'm not a big fan of the furry movement, but at the same time, if ears mean a headband with pointed ears on them, it's a hair accessory. So the debate is on school code for clothing.
It's a sexual thing.
Wait a minute. If ears mean a headband with pointed ears on them, it's a hair accessory. So, tails are different, and students meowing and barking at other students, that's not cool, but that's not a dress code. One board member, well, the furry attire should not be acceptable in schools. I'm all about trying to find a way that is not acceptable in any way, because what it does is they then do the barking and all the other weird stuff. A majority of the school board seem to believe that furry attire should be deemed inappropriate dress code. Here's the bottom line. It's inappropriate, like utilization of behavior in a school, and we just need to end it. One member said the conversation in itself is ridiculous and insane. This is not rocket science, and it's not an epidemic. If you don't want tails on kids, just say no tails. This conversation about furries is insane and a culture war in a conversation. Has nothing to do with barking. If you're keeping up with the trends, it's this weird, ridiculous thing that kids are doing in middle school, barking and meowing at each other. It's weird, but they're doing it. It has nothing to do with a kid wearing a tail. It's all kids. Speak to your teachers. We don't want to overcomplicate this. You don't want them wearing tails? Say no tails. Duh. The crime is solved. But again,
Until we meet again.
Have you ever heard of such just ridiculous stuff?
Tell these kids no. Be the boss.
Right.
Be an adult.
No.
Say no.
Yeah.
And it's all the furries has been a sexual thing for 30 years now. They did a whole movie on it.
In fact, I haven't even heard of this since, I guess, the 70s, maybe, or maybe 80s.
It was
I don't
big in
even
the 80s.
remember. Maybe I don't
It
even.
was big in the 80s
been
and
that
the
long.
90s. By the way, everyone's talking about stuff on the thing about this, the end of the group and blah, blah. It doesn't have to be. Call the show. We'll get the number out and
Not
call
only
the
that,
show.
not only that, what they're doing right now, they can do every day when the show from 3 to 6.
Yeah,
They can
it'll
do-
still be
they
on
can-
YouTube.
Exactly. It'll be on YouTube and it'll be on Rumble.
So
There's-
they'll actually, if they don't want to call, they can actually type in a thing like you're doing right now.
Yep.
And I'll
you'll
look
be
at it
reading,
every
and
now
you'll be
and then.
looking
Yeah.
at them. And
Yep.
can you look at them
Yep.
too? Okay, so we can keep doing what we're doing right
We'll
now.
have a staff.
In a way.
We'll have a staff that'll look at
Well,
it.
I don't think we'll have a staff now.
I will be the fucking staff. So. But yes, I mean, we'll be able to have this like we do.
Yeah.
The only thing that's really changing is we're not doing a 2-hour show. We're now doing a 3-hour
Of course,
show.
the espresso machine will be in the studio, right? And the couch
Yeah.
and the fridge. And
All the good stuff.
Well, let's wrap this up here. I think. Any there comments or something for the action thing? I got a couple of things, but I really don't care about them. A quick note on this day in history, which started out to be kind of an ugly day, and then it turned nice after all. On this very day in 1998, on May 15th, 1998, soap opera diva, TV star Susan Lucci gave fresh meaning to the word loser on this day in 1998 when she once again was nominated for an Emmy Award for Daytime Emmy as Best Actress, and she lost for the 18th time in a row.
Yeah.
The next year, she won. But this was the 18th time in a row that she did not win the Daytime Emmy, and then finally she did.
we have
and good for her.
Our new shall we say, teammates
Yeah.
have weighed in on
they have.
the new show, like Scott Rhino.
Excellent.
Says, hey, look, we asked Kimmer to do afternoons, but he said he likes to eat dinner at 4:30 at the Colonnade and be in bed by 6:30.
Very funny.
I think he's actually talking about me. That's literally my schedule.
You go to the Colonnade?
No,
Holy
Rhino's the
cow.
one who says, I need the AARP button, and I can't get up. And I gotta,
Steven says, I thought the Kimmer was too old to be driving.
Yeah, thank you. I can still drive at night, people. Hey, girls, I can still drive at night. Ladies, I can take you home in the dark, baby.
Hey, remember when the joke name was Carl? Carl.
Yeah.
Well, now it's Kyle.
Oh, things are changing.
And I was reading on Facebook yesterday. There's a new Mexican restaurant in LJ. God, they're everywhere. There's Mexican restaurants everywhere now. And people were liking it. And some idiot drove a car through it the other day. And it says, to the cow who drove a hole in the new Mexican restaurant in LJ, you suck. What the hell?
I freaking love it. By the way, Flounder, did you get that soundbite? Did I mention to you? One quick history thing. We're going to wrap it up here in a second. One quick history thing was on this day in 2007, at the age of 77, Jerry Falwell died, head of the Moral Majority. Humble bumble bubble shay, I think. And Jerry Falwell, a little comment here from Jerry Falwell, if you would, Flounder.
There we go.
Against you, my Lord. And I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse.
Well, actually, that's not Jerry Falwell. That was Jimmy Swaggart, but I wanted to play it.
Same
I mean, he got caught with a hooker named Deborah Murphy on Airline Highway in New Orleans, and I'll never forget. It must have been, 40 years or 50 years ago.
I've sinned against you.
Hubble bubble bubble shame. Remember he said that out loud, and I've been saying it ever since.
Crowd went wild.
Anyway, let's see what else we got here. The siege of Khe Sanh ended in Vietnam, 1967. The other day we mentioned
Victoriously, as we won the war.
George Brett, 70. Emmett Smith, the football star, 54. Andy Murray, the tennis star from Britain, 36. Ray Lewis, the former almost murderer, helped to get away in his mink coat here in Atlanta for the deal. 48 years old, Ray Lewis. And Jamie Lynn Sigler, Meadow on The Sopranos, is 42 today. Anyway, quick baby names. How about a list of I've never heard of these. Social Security has released the annual list of baby names, most popular baby names. For the 6th straight year, the number one boy's baby name, Liam. Number one girl's baby name, Olivia. I love that name. Dutton is making a huge thing, and Renly, W-R-E-N-L-E-E. Dutton, because of the Social Security list, because of the TV show, the Dutton show on the Montana show, the TV, the Dutton family. Yellowstone is the Dutton family. Casey also is a big name because he's on the show, the Dutton show. So Yellowstone's got a lot of names coming up here. Rip, one of the other guys from Yellowstone, also a big baby name coming up. Anyway, just for the record. And, I don't know what else we got here.
Your scary AI of the day.
As AI of the day scary. Yeah, it's
Snapchat influencer Karen Marjorie basically made an AI version of herself and she's got a company. It's an AI girlfriend that'll say nice things to you, keep you company, chat with you.
On your computer, you mean? Or
There's a face, a body that talks to you.
God.
And she specifically forbade it to go sexual.
Oh, really?
Guess what it's doing?
It's threesomes?
It's basically going sexual innuendos, not beyond innuendo, just sex chat with the clients now.
Well, they're got the mind of their own, you know.
It learned by itself
there
how to
do
that.
Who didn't know that?
Yeah, it's coming. Let's see. All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. I got it right here. Camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you truly say you've lived
Yeah.
if you don't have at least one former lover faint at the news of your demise?
I was thinking more that there'd be applause. Thank God he's gone.
Was the person who proofread Hitler's speeches a grammar Nazi? Okay.
I suppose.
You don't own money. It's just your turn with it.
Yeah, well, it's like land, you know. Yeah, you own it because you're alive, but when you're dead, someone else is going to own it.
Mirrors don't break. they multiply.
That's right. One mirror could be yeah.
And I like my people like I like my tea.
Yeah.
In a bag, underwater.
I like my women like I like my wine. Young, 20 years old, and in the basement.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, it's time for Flounder to Find.
I say we do the last one before the link I just sent you because that's a good one.
You have to tell me. Let me give you a dirty joke of the day.
All right, sir.
Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, let's see. Which one are we doing here?
It's from this morning. You sent a lot this morning.
Yeah.
The interviewer.
Interviewer. Okay, there's an interviewer and an interviewee.
All right, sir.
I'll be
you
the
the
interviewee.
You're
obviously.
the interviewee. All right. So it says here you're fast at math.
Extremely fast.
Really? What's 41 times 17?
47.
That's not even close.
But it was fast.
He said, sir, do you have any drug or alcohol problems we should be aware of? That you should be aware of? No, I can't think of any. Well, boys, we're not sure what the future is of this podcast, but we're going back on the radio, and we're thrilled about it, and we hope it works, and thank you for everything. And again, we may be able to just keep doing this in a way that makes it easy or whatever, so don't fret. If you have any suggestions, where Pete can go on vacation, but also on the new show coming up again, we want you to.
This isn't an
feedback.
end. This is
No,
a new
It's
beginning.
a new
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're not going anywhere.
Let's see. The worst part of the new show will be when a girl walks into the studio and distracts Kimmer.
True.
Squirrel. So the final podcast, I wish to thee goodbye, don't cry. We won't. Best podcast ever, according to Kimberly. See you guys on 106.3. Love the team. Aw,
Well, that's so sweet.
It is very sweet.
Honestly, I'm going to get very emotional as soon as I get home.
We're going to swing after you drank.
Well-
we're going to sing our song?
I think we should. How's it start? I forgot.
We'll meet again.
We'll meet again.
Don't
So
know
go
where,
don't know when. But someday there will be a people again. A sunny day. Adios. God bless America. Hoorah. Herp. I gotta go. You're killing me.